All right, we are back on the Cavalry. How you doing, Johnny?
Good. Welcome, everyone, to the Cavalry.
It's a very exciting episode because we have a great guest, a good friend of mine, new friend of Johnny's, hilarious comedian. Give it up for Jill Kimmel. How are you doing, Jill?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We are great. You're in Arizona, which is like the COVID capital of the world. So congrats on that.
We're number one. We're number one.
I always
Good to have pride.
Right.
It's good to have pride.
Yeah. I always see you on social media in some sort of confrontation with anti-maskers. It's great. You're always, you feel like you're quick to step in, and there's a lot of opportunities there. It sounds like.
It's funny because I'm not like super like hardcore mask. Like there are times that like I've had my mask off when it's allowed, like in a restaurant, and I'm hugging my friends, and it is a little bit of a gamble, but it's kind of like, listen, we're all here eating together, and I hugged my friend. I'm not like crazy about it, but if someone's coming into a grocery store and trying to fight with like the manager about how they'll find another grocery store, it's like, no, You're not gonna find it. They all require masks.
I can never imagine being at a place in my life where I would value whatever I'm believing in over not having to go to a second grocery store. Like going to a second grocery store is such a nightmare. I had to do that today to get baby formula. They didn't have the right baby formula. Oh my God. And then you're like, am I really going to have to go into a second location? This is
it's the worst.
Nightmare.
If I go to Sprouts and that's one of the Sprouts that doesn't offer sushi and it's Wednesday and they have the $5 sushi, I've got to go to the other Sprouts 7 miles away to get the $5. I know it sounds like champagne problems, but it is annoying.
Jill, getting $5 sushi in the desert of Arizona does not sound like champagne problems. Okay, there are not rappers out there with verses about their $5 sushi and coming
delicious.
From Arizona.
I don't eat raw fish, so it's all like California rolls and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have that problem at the Pick and Save here in Madison, Wisconsin.
You guys still have a Pick and Save?
Oh, we got Pick and Save. We
used to have those. Those are good places. Yeah, it was like the dollar store basically.
Yes.
Yeah. The Piggly Wiggly. That's my favorite Midwest.
Western.
There was a Super Bowl commercial. I don't know if this was regional or if this was just in Portland, but do you guys have Grocery Outlet?
No.
Okay. That must be a regional thing. But I saw a Super Bowl commercial and it was Grocery Outlet. So it must have been like, it was like the regional version of the commercial at that time or whatever. But it blew my mind. It was like, this place can have commercials. They can't afford like shelves. How do they have like just all their shit is on the floor?
They can't afford the fourth wheel for the cart. It's like,
right, exactly. Yeah, you're just pushing it on 3 triangles. But
like sparking up.
Yeah. But somehow they had a commercial. It was very impressive to me. But
did you guys watch the Super Bowl? Topical.
Loosely watch. I have a friend who is married and she has 2 kids. And I just went over there and the husband watched the game and we talked a lot of trash about things that had nothing to do with the game.
Well, that's what you do.
I'm curious to hear.
Did I miss the commercial? He was very like, did you watch, Andrew? Or was it hard to watch because your team came so close?
Oh, no, my team, they weren't even that close this year. But I think
they were good.
They were all
My team was close. The Packers.
The Packers were closer. Johnny's team. Boy, he lives and dies on every play.
I'm just
green and gold, baby.
Johnny is not like a big sports fan. So this is one thing we don't have in common. But really he doesn't really care. So, but I watched the game just at the house with my wife and was horrified.
How'd the baby like it? Did she like her first Super Bowl? Was she a fan of the weekend performance or not so much?
Yeah, no, she thought the weekend's performance a little uneven. She preferred Prince's. No, she had no opinion. She liked the part where she got to drink milk and fart a lot and then go back to bed. So
sounds like what I did.
Pretty close to what I did. No, I don't know. We watched it at the house. I was just like dreading. I couldn't watch the end. I could not watch Tom Brady win another. So I mean, it's just so gross.
He is so good, but also he's gross. He's good, and I like appreciate his talent but I also feel like he'd be the guy at the bar you'd think you'd wanted to go home with, and then you'd have like a 3-minute conversation and be like, no.
Yeah, well, because the whole conversation would be about how he won't eat or drink anything at that bar. Like, he brought his own vegetable shake that he's gonna have.
Is he like a vegan?
Oh, he's like, yeah, he sells like books about it. The TB12 program, but he's all vegan. Goes to bed like at 6:30 p.m. That's why he's like 43 and he can still be amazing at football. He's like gonna live forever. Yeah, exactly.
Sounds like a nerd if you ask
Whatever,
me.
Yeah,
loser.
big nerd.
Drinking my White Claw.
Big nerd.
Super Bowl MVP nerd. This is Revenge of the Nerds is calling the greatest football player of all time a nerd. Yeah. But Johnny, how did you enjoy the game? Did you watch it?
I was rooting for the Chiefs just because I have friends there and because the Buccaneers, took down the Pack. But I really didn't give a shit. It was not a fun game because it wasn't
even close. Yeah,
I like Mahomes. He seems like kind of a cool kid.
Yeah,
he seems nice. So.
Yeah. I felt bad for him. It seemed like he was getting the shit kicked out of him all game.
But I guess if you're gonna get the shit kicked out of you by somebody, at least it's like the all-time winning guy. So.
Yeah, I don't know if that makes it better or worse to lose to a 43-year-old.
First of all, let's not go there.
Not that that's old, but just in NFL,
Wait,
he's the oldest
Andrew,
quarterback
aren't you 43, Andrew?
I'm 50.
How dare you?
That's what we're talking about. I'm 50,
Jill, you look great. I told Johnny one time now we have a running joke about it, but I told him one time I was 36 and he it blew his mind. He was like, I thought you were so much older than
That's not how it happened.
I mean, it was pretty close.
I know. I said, no, here, Jill, this is what happened. I assumed that Andrew and I were the same age, and then Andrew got all offended that I would think he's so old.
How old are you, Johnny?
I'm 41.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's not that far off, but also those couple of years they seem to matter.
When you're 36, 41 sounds old. But then,
when my one friend's 56 and she's refers to people as our age, I'm like, first of all, you are not my age. You're almost 60.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's whatever. Who cares at this point?
Exactly. The time means nothing. Why did your
name say Scott, by the way, on your
thing? Because we probably shouldn't say this, but we're still... No, because when you use Zoom, you get it for free as long as you want if it's 2 people. But when you add in a third, you need a pro account. So we're using the account that me and Johnny do these corporate charity shows. So we're using that account to do this podcast.
Is a very
I'm not even sure.
Podcast.
Yeah. Just edit this part out.
I'm not even sure they know.
Using someone else's Netflix password to
record
our password.
Yeah, and it's funny because Andrew has a bit about that. And there's people on Twitter right now talking about how Saturday Night Live did a bit about Zillow and how this guy is like, that's my joke. And I'm thinking in my head, that's Andrew's joke.
Oh, I know. No, I follow that whole thing. Ted Alexandro is a great comic, but he went on this kind of, and I think I didn't see his bit, but I think his bit was even closer to what Saturday Night Live did. But then also I was like, I've now encountered this 4 or 5 times where people were like, somebody stole my Zillow bit, and I've just seen it erupt on Twitter. I'm like, guys, maybe the Zillow thing is just sort of out there at this point, and no one's stealing it.
Somebody stole my dating app bit.
Right. Yeah, I know. I think it's reaching that point. So I think I have to take a hard look in the mirror and decide if I'm going to emerge from the pandemic still doing my Zillow bit. But I'm sure I will find myself in a desperate situation somewhere. And I
during
will pull
a corporate gig.
You'll be on a cruise and you're like, I need another 11 minutes of something clean.
Absolutely, I will pull the Zillow ripcord.
I have to be all clean.
Yeah. So you do. That's something we could talk. When was the last cruise you did? Because were you on a COVID you weren't on a COVID ship, obviously, but were you out there right before?
I started doing cruises August of 2019. That was my first one, and then she got me another one, and I had a bunch of other stuff booked, so I couldn't do another one until January. So I went and did one in January, and then I did another one, and then she had submitted me to do a like a partial charter, which is, you guys know, but maybe other people don't know, where like a group books like a giant thing, and it wasn't a full charter, like the whole ship wasn't these people, but it was like partial. And then she booked me another one that was a full charter, and it was the LuLaRoe, which is like the leggings that like girls you knew in high school sell on like Facebook. And it was their company, and they picked me to like come, and I was very excited. I was going to take my mom as a treat, like bring her with me because it was her birthday week. March 15th, we were supposed to leave out of Florida. And COVID started like happening earlier in the year. We were getting like notices in our cabin. They were like, listen, there's this virus. It's in China. And we were all like, whatever. Why are we getting these notices? Like, okay, who cares? And then that March 15th cruise, about like a week before, my brother was like, you are not going. First of all, mom is not going on that cruise, and neither are you. And I said, listen, they pay me good money to go on these cruises. If I can't, he's like, I will pay you double to not go. I was like, but they won't book me again if I cancel this close to the date. Like, and so I was like, I'm going. And the night before, like 6 p.m., I was supposed to go the next day to get on, and they canceled it, but they still paid me.
The day before? Oh my!
Like March 14th, they my agent texted me at like 6 o'clock at night. She's like, "Cruise is canceled." I was like, "Thank God."
Holy, isn't that like when we got off of ours? Like
I think that's when we were
March?
getting off.
Yeah.
Like we were like, me and Johnny were on one together, and then they like as we were the 2 weeks we were on, it started from when you were talking about, where it was like, oh, this crazy virus in China, and then by the end of those 2 weeks, it was like,
don't talk to anyone.
Don't talk to anyone. I know. I was making jokes about it, but then now I feel bad even talking. But do you remember there was a comedian in Oregon or something, some guy, and he like was on a ship in China and then like broke out of the quarantine and flew home.
Got out of the hotel and
started bragging about it. Yeah. And he's started
like tweeting,
the whole.
I had a high-paying corporate gig I had to get to.
I mean, you look back at it now, and it's so stupid because it's like it would have come here anyway. It's like not just that one guy's fault, but it is funny how eviscerated he thought he was gonna get props or whatever.
Yeah,
I probably would have done the same thing, just not talked about it. But
totally.
Because like how long? I'm not gonna spend 6 weeks in China. Although
it was Thailand, and it was a really nice hotel, according to everybody who was in the story. But he was like, I got to get home, and he just left. And like had his suitcase and like got in a car, went to the airport, was like, just left. I don't think I would have. I feel like I would have done the same thing. Like, get me home. If I'm gonna be, if there's a.
But we wouldn't have tweeted about it. You wouldn't have been like, "Hey, everyone, I'm bringing home a souvenir."
Jill, maybe. I don't know. I'm kind of a rule. I talk big, but then I end up being a rule follower most of the time. So I don't know what I would
that's why Andrew seems older to you, because he is a rule follower. He's a good guy. Yes.
That must be it.
That must be it. Nothing to do with the face.
Right. That's what it is. It's about how you follow rules. That's why I thought
That's what it is. All right. Well.
Good pre-show banter. That was good pre-show banter.
Great pre-show banter. Jill, so I don't know if you want to start us off. So you know what the show is. We try to back each other up.
Yeah.
I know you have a topic for us. Do you want to go, ladies first, guests first? Do you want to go first?
No. You guys go first. I like to hear your stuff.
Okay. Johnny, me or you? What do you think?
All right. I don't know if this I don't know if this is my topic or if this is pre-show banter, but I put this in my notes. Don't you think that for the Super Bowl, the commercials are supposedly really good, whatever, that's everyone watches it for the commercials. If they can make commercials that are that good for the Super Bowl, why do they make shitty commercials the rest of it? Like, why not just always make good commercials? You know what I mean?
Right. Why are they saving it? Maybe because they're lazy, and it's like the commercials for the Super Bowl aren't even like that good, because I kind of think it's not that the commercials for the Super Bowl are that good. It's just because you like are so hyped up. Because if you saw those same commercials any other time of year, I don't think we'd analyze them or be like, which one was the funny,
Yeah.
I think that like maybe the rest of the year they're a little crappier, but I don't know. I think it's a general laziness.
I think generally those commercials are better because they usually have big celebrities in them, which means they cost more. So that's probably why they don't always do that.
Well, do they bring in like outside writing talent, or is the same guy who's writing like the shitty Bud Light radio ad writing the big Bud Light Super Bowl commercial?
I think like these same guys, if you go, well, you could get these stars, you have these ideas like, oh, we could get this guy to do this. It's better. Like it's the same, but like Ashton Kutcher, maybe you shouldn't have had him singing like in the shower. I was like,
oh yeah, I didn't even. Yeah, that one was pretty brutal. Well, that actually kind of makes sense, Jill, because the celebrity angle. Because I've heard that like SNL writers will save their best stuff for the hosts who are like the funniest or like the coolest. So like,
oh, that's
if you like 1 week you have I don't know like. Who would be a bad host? I don't even know. Like some teen pop idol or something.
Or Tom Brady.
Yeah, Tom Brady. Let's say Tom Brady's going to host. You're like, this guy's a big stiff athlete. He's not going to sell my jokes very well. I'm going to just use the crap that I wrote,
Next week
you
got Justin Timberlake.
Right. I'm going to unleash my best sketches, or Tom Hanks or whatever. I'm going to do my best stuff. So maybe it's the same thing where it's like if you're a commercial writer, you're saving your best ideas for the Super
payday,
Bowl.
For the big payday, yeah.
That sounds about right.
But yeah, I don't know. They probably could be better. Commercials in general, especially with how much they try to sell us stuff. You think they would try to put a little more effort in. We buy a lot of shit in America. Show some respect.
Yeah.
The consumer.
Be a commercial for this company. It was like a loan. It was J.G. Wentworth.
Oh, yeah.
Wentworth, 877 cash now. 877 cash now. And it used to be super cheesy. The other day I saw like their newest one. It's like J.G. Wentworth, like the little logo at the top. And it's like normal people. Like when I went with J.G. Wentworth, blah, blah, blah. It's like super regular. And I was like, I almost felt like this is BS. Like I don't.
Yeah.
You guys were known for, they were like the general, like super cheesy commercials. Yeah. It's like, no, slow your roll, J.G. Wentworth.
No, I've noticed that too, because J.G. Wentworth, okay, their whole business is like restructuring your annuities. So if you like won the lottery and you did the payout over time, you basically go, now you need your money. All of a sudden, J.G. Wentworth like screws you and takes like half of what you would have got, but then gives you all the money up front, right?
Right.
So they like fucking people over, who are in desperate situations. The general, the same thing. So they should have commercials that are cheesy. If that's your business, you should have cheesy commercials, Like the general is probably really crappy insurance. So they have a stupid little cartoon. But then now they have Shaq. And so you're like, I don't know what this is. Is this legitimate now? Like, I don't know what to believe.
I'm so confused.
What? You're confused? Like, does Shaq bring legitimacy to an insurance company?
Shaquille O'Neal brings legitimacy to your insurance business. I don't know. More than the Gecko.
The Geico has the best commercials. They really have good commercials.
The zone with commercials. They just have so many that they're gonna hit every once in a while.
They just started doing the ones where they're like, well, we've got a clogging problem, and then it's like the clogger. Like those commercials are great.
Yeah,
Progressives really stepping up their game to catch up with those ones about how to not become your parents.
Those are so good. And then she's like, live, love, whatever. He's like, those aside in the trash.
It is so funny that insurance commercials are probably the funniest of the genre. I think at this point, if you had to take any business, right, beer, cable, whatever, it seems like insurance has the best. If you combine all the insurance commercials, that's like the best quality of humor, and they're also like the meanest companies though. Then they're also like, we're not going to cover your liver transplant.
Yeah.
It's a hilarious joke about how you're turning into your parents.
Right.
I don't know.
Point. You're like, oh, sorry that you're dying, but
oh yeah,
someone
stole your car. Well, we aren't going to cover that.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to.
We don't cover Toyotas. Sorry.
Yeah, you should have told us that.
4 tires? Yeah, we don't. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh my god, I don't know if I talked about this already, but someone stole my catalytic converter a while back, Jill, and
It's
So
happened a lot lately.
yeah, it's an epidemic out there in America, but it's our number one problem in America. I'd say it's the number one problem. No, not really. But what I'm saying is that everyone was like, "Tell your insurance." And I was like, "My insurance doesn't cover this." I know, and they're like, "No, no, no, they cover it." I'm like, I promise you, they do not. I have this shit. There's no way they're going to cover it. And they convinced me to call and wait on hold for 3 hours and go through the humiliation of making a claim, only for them to come back and go, of course we don't cover this. What do you mean we're going to cover? So, yeah, it was very frustrating.
We have like a homeowner's insurance, and my parents, their ice maker leaked and ruined their like walnut floor. And it was like, oh, any leak we cover except ice maker. It was like really the worst, to the point where the plumber was like, listen, I'm going to tell them that it was something else. Like the plumber hooked us up and like
my
it was something else.
We cover any leak except for ones from water sources.
Right.
I hope your insurance agent isn't listening to this episode.
Yeah, we get a lot of insurance listeners.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
From the general.
But no, I think that counts as a topic, Johnny. I mean, like, I would back you up in that. I think commercials could strive for better on the whole.
But I mean, it could be like SN, like for the football, for the Super Bowl, everyone's like, oh, these commercials are so funny. Like, what if it was just always like that? Like, people didn't change the channel, or people didn't roll their eyes at commercials because, oh, it's a little
fun.
Variety show in the middle of my actual drama I'm watching or whatever. It's a little comedy sketch.
You just want to see a better world,
That's all I want. Is that too much
it's
to
possible.
It's not too much.
Okay, well, I can go because that kind of leads me into my topic. Here's what I need backup on. So I watched this movie. It was on Netflix. No commercials. On Netflix the other day. It's called The Dig or something. It's just this old man in England in the 30s, and he sees a big pile of dirt, and he digs it up. That's the whole movie. I don't know. They're looking for something. I didn't really care about that. I just like to see him digging. In a long time ago, it was kind of nice. It was very relaxing, and delivered. A lot of digging in that movie. So, but my point is, they started talking in British accents from like pre-World War II, and that's immediate subtitles for me. I'm like, I'm not even gonna try to listen to these English people talk. If anyone has a British, but I don't know about you guys, but I've gotten to the point in the pandemic. There's been so much like streaming watching and so much watching movies at home. I've gotten like lazy with the audio. I'm just every show, every movie is captions now. I just have closed captions on all the time, to the point where I think, and this is where I need backup on because it's very controversial, but I think when the movie theaters come back, all movies just put the captions on.
Oh, I like that.
Put the captions on all movies, every movie, because I've gotten conditioned to it, and I think I'm going to need it when I go back to the movie theater so I don't miss stuff.
I let myself be lazy and just read the captions instead of really listening.
Right. And it keeps me from like looking at my phone and stuff, I think sometimes, because it's like, I don't know. And maybe it's from watching stuff on Instagram that has captions. I don't know, but I'm like addicted. I like need it now.
I like it. I'm with you on that. I fully support you on that.
Oh, thank you, Joe.
I have it where do you ever watching a show and you're reading and you don't even realize the captions are on because you didn't turn them on. They was just on from a previous thing, and you're not. My wife will walk in and be like, "Oh, why do you have the captions on for this?" And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't realize I did, and I was reading them."
I know, and I like if we don't have them, so then we'll try to like. Sometimes we won't have them on. But then it's like every 2 seconds, it's like stopping it and like, wait, what did they say? Or like, I missed that part. Like, can you rewind it? And then we never can finish a show.
Especially when I'm watching My 600-Pound Life, and they're on with Dr. Now, and he's like talking, and he talks like this, and he's always like, you gained 53 pounds in 1 month. And she's like, I cheated. He's like, you don't have to eat 600,000 calories in 1 day. And like, I'm like, what is he saying? I need to know how he's just like ripping this woman over the coals. Yes.
Hey, that's true, Jill.
This show is sponsored by 600-Pound Life.
Love that.
Andrew brings that show up a lot.
Do you?
I haven't in a while, but I used to. Yeah, I'm like obsessed with Doctor.
I
Oh, good
love
morning.
Dr.
How
Now.
are you?
He's a
No, you
savage.
know what Doctor Now does? He does this, Jill. He does this thing where every time he'll ask them where they're coming from. You know, so like they're in Houston, right? His clinic.
Yes.
Oh, where are you coming from today? And then they'll be like, even if they said like next door, like, oh, that's a long trip for you. Your condition, a very long trip for you.
It is. Sorry, snorted. It
no,
is.
I love Dr. Now. But I also like how you think you need the captions to follow the plot of My 600-Pound Life. Let me tell you, everyone ends the same. They pretend like they're gonna do the thing. They don't do it at first. Maybe they try.
In the hospital.
Maybe Then they get the surgery, and then maybe it doesn't go. The worst is the follow-up. Have you ever watched the follow-up show where they catch up with them later?
I've watched a few of them. I haven't seen a ton.
Oh, it's so depressing.
Law and Order, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah, it's so depressing because they never are successful. Like I haven't seen one yet where they actually kept the weight off.
See, that's really sad to hear because Johnny doesn't know this. I think Andrew must know this, but I actually had that surgery. I was not 600 pounds, but I was a heavy person at one point in my life. And I had that surgery, which is why that show is very fascinating to me. Because I remember like having to like qualify for the surgery and the things you had to do. And I empathize with them a lot because I know it is hard. You're sitting home and you're like, okay, this one meal is not going to kill. It's one meal. But then it turns into, and it's like, it never stops. And they go and he's like, and that fear of getting on the scale and being like, what's it going to say? Like, you messed up. And then you're telling him like, no, I mean, I cheated like twice. And then he's like, you had to eat 6,479 calories a day. And you're like, oh my God, I know. And I was eating that, but I very much empathize with those people, but it's sad to hear that they don't succeed in the fall. But I think when you're like that, I was just like, I ate and I was like overweight and it was like, calm your ass. You need to get back to a regular.
My wife has a theory that his whole program is like flawed because his whole thing is like, here's this, you get 1,500 calories a day or something, and it's like this 1,200.
12.
So it's like totally unrealistic. Like this person's gonna go from 10,000 calories a day to 1,200 in the next, and just I didn't know I was supposed to only be eating 1,200. Like, and he's like, did you lose the diet? That's what he always asks people. Oh, did you lose the diet plan? It's like they didn't lose the plan. It's just like very difficult. And so her thing is like,
lose the plan. What does that mean? Like, did you lose the piece
like
of paper
the physical
that says
piece
don't
of paper?
eat more than
literally hands them paper.
Yeah. They're like at Arby's in the drive-thru, and they're like, "Oh, my plan! I can't find what." Well, I guess the cheddar ham sandwich must be on there. I'm just gonna take.
The thing is this: you guys are regular weight, normal weight. If you counted your calories each day, it would never be 1,200. It would be over. And
I would be double that for sure.
Fairly healthy to some degree because you're both, slim, in good shape. It is impossible to eat 1,200 and to go from eating, like you said, 10,000 calories.
I know. And I feel like he does it because it's that thing where it's like if you're habitually late and you're going to the airport, it's like telling someone their flight is like at 6 when it really doesn't leave till like 7:30. Just right. And so, but when you do that too extremely, people just give up. I think they're just like 1,200 might as well be 0,
Yes.
And then they go ape shit.
And the worst is when they have unsupportive partners who bring home fast food and eat it in front of them. Trust me.
Johnny,
I'm so glad you love it too.
Johnny is a big fast food guy.
I am too. I love fast food all day long. If I could eat only fast food, I would, and I kind of do.
It's so good. I don't know. I was gonna. Oh my gosh! I was looking at my my credit card statement, and I was going to send a screenshot to you, Andrew, because it's literally Taco Bell 4 days in a row, the exact same dollar amount.
So Brant, who you guys had on last week, he had a podcast called The 31, and one of the questions was, "What is your go-to fast food order?" So Johnny and Andrew, what is your go-to? Or Scott, what is your go-to fast food order?
That's a good
question. Wendy's is my favorite. Fast food order would be chili, with onions, large chili with onions, French fries, Diet Coke, and a chocolate frosty.
Oh,
Maybe
large
spicy chicken sandwich. Maybe if it's like I worked out or something.
like in
Okay.
addition to what you
In
ordered.
addition to that, so it's a
Okay.
big order.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
it's a big order.
How about you, Johnny?
I would say, I mean, I'm getting excited just thinking about it.
I know, right?
I would say
Johnny's gonna need a
there's
few
too many to
minutes
pick
alone.
from.
Like, are they still open?
There's some that are like special occasions, but like as far as just solid goes, you don't need to nod at me.
It's not special occasions. The whole point of fast food is that it is not a special occasion.
Not
Like, if it's-
special.
So I would say, based on my bank statement, Taco Bell, 3 chili cheese burritos, and a large Baja Blast. And here's why. First of all, the chili cheese burrito, they don't even have those. At more than half of Taco Bells have discontinued them.
I've never even heard of that.
Exactly. Because
I
they
think
have
Dr.
to have a
Fauci had something to do with getting rid of.
And then Baja Blast, you can only get at Taco Bell. Occasionally they'll have limited release where you can get them at Pick and Save, but it's normally a Taco Bell exclusive. It's like a Sprite Mountain Dew. Oh, it's
I
so
think
good.
and normally only like the insurrectionists from the Capitol drink stuff like that, but I'm okay with it.
And I don't
Baja
drink soda,
Blast.
but I only like if I'm at Taco Bell, I started getting Baja Blast.
My go-to is, you might not have it, Johnny. I don't know if Andrew would know it. There's a place called Filiberto's, and it's like a local crappy Mexican place, and they have all different ones like Rally Bertos and Julio Bertos, but in Arizona there's like a lot of them, and they have these fish tacos that are so good, and they come with pieces of fish, and they're 2 corn tortillas each, so it's like 4 corn tortillas and beans and rice. And what I do is I separate them out, and then I cut the fish in half. So instead of 2 tacos, I make it into 4 tacos. And then I have it, since I've had the surgery, I can't eat as much as regular people. And so I make it into 4 meals. Like, so my ex-boyfriend used to say we had a 70-30 rule. He would order his food and I would order mine, and I would eat 30% of mine. He would eat his and 70% of mine.
That
So
sounds
it's
like a
the
pretty good setup.
30, 170.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Not quite a 70.
And I think you know who that is. He was able to
I do.
process a lot of food and still look great. So good for him.
I do the
Yeah.
opposite. You like take a meal and divide it into other meals, whereas I will take a frozen pizza, which is supposedly a bunch of meals for multiple people, and I will fold it in half and eat it like a taco for myself.
I also used to do that, which is why I needed Dunkin' now.
Totino's party pizzas, I
What
swear,
you-
were
So
made
good.
for that.
So
Well,
good.
what you described, Jill, as your fast food meal would be the healthiest thing Johnny's ever eaten.
Yeah,
Well,
I
it's
know.
a-
I was going to
like
interrupt you. and be
fish
like, that
and
doesn't sound
rice.
like fast food.
But it's fried fish with
Okay,
refried
all right.
beans and stuff. So I mean, but yes, the portion size is smaller. But that's just because I had surgery. But that is a damn good meal, I have to say. And I don't eat
sounds
meat
good.
anymore. My old go-to meal in the meat eating days was a number 2 at McDonald's, which is a quarter pounder with cheese. My mouth is actually
That's what we're talking about
No
now.
pickle,
We're on the same
no
page.
onions, large sized with fries and a large Coke. Don't pass that Diet Coke shit off on me. Real Coke.
Ugh,
There we go.
That's what we're talking.
disgusting.
Yeah.
I do that,
Diet Coke
except
for
it's
life.
the double quarter pounder meal.
You can't do the double meat. Well, I don't do the meat anymore at all, but you know, I mean, I have some class. Come on.
Oh, not me. Not me.
So I forget how we even got here.
You were talking about
Oh,
your-
closed captioning
Yes.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
can't.
clearly what we're talking.
in the theaters.
Jill,
though.
Jill
in the theaters.
supported you.
Jill
Jill
has supported
you.
me.
Did
I
you
can't.
support?
The amount of backlash that you would get for trying to have subtitles in movie theaters, are you out of your mind?
No, but just I was imagining like you go and you see like whatever Marvel movie comes out, and then people are like, I'm not gonna read when I'm watching my Spider-Man.
But what if they did like a 3D glasses kind of thing? That if you wanted the subtitles, the 3D glasses would like make them appear so that everyone could be happy.
That
I think it
is
just
genius.
give the book to the nerds at the door and be like, here, read along, dork.
You've just got the whole script. And you're like, interior.
Hey, what page are we on? What page are we on? I had to go to the bathroom.
I got lost.
I learned how to use Final Draft, so when you said interior, that hit home.
Yeah, that was a joke for the industry professionals.
Industry people.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I expected there to be some backlash, but I am curious because it's been so long I've been to the movies, how I'm going to react watching a movie without subtitles. But we'll see.
I'm guessing you'll be okay.
I think it'll be. I think it's the number one problem in America. It goes.
It's in the top.
Catalytic converters, captions on movies.
Yeah.
Okay,
right,
Jill,
so,
this is it.
Jill, what do we
This
got?
is the moment. What do you need backup on?
Well, if you guys see me like looking aside, it's because I'm petting my dog who just got groomed, and he's
Oh, let's see. Let's see.
He's sleeping, and he's
look.
so sweet, and I just keep like, I haven't seen him in a week.
When you get the dog back from the groomers and they smell so good and they're so soft, the dog must be like, what have I done? I'm like, finally I'm being loved in the way that I should be.
Don't get it twisted. You know this dog is always loved, but I
know.
I did text my groomer when I Venmo'd her, and I said, what did you spray him with? He smells he smells like a man. He smells amazing. He texted me back a picture of this dog spray called Stud. I was like, oh. She goes, sometimes I spray him with Axe body spray. It's dog friendly. I was like, well, by all means.
Wow.
So we have a date later. But so my beef, my dilemma, what I need to back up on, and I'm hoping you guys back me up on this, is that I am moving to California from Arizona. I have recently sold my house, recently meaning 3 days ago. I had an open house. I sold my house here in Arizona.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I am moving to California, and my family all lives mostly down in like the South Bay, which is like the beach areas for people who don't really know California. It's like Redondo Beach, Manhattan Beach. They're all like on the way between LA and San Diego is like where they all kind of live. But I want to live closer to like the Hollywood stuff, you know, where acting and comedy, that kind of stuff is happening. But I don't want to live in Hollywood or the surrounding areas, because I was looking for houses. The houses in like Sherman Oaks, Culver City, Hollywood, Burbank, those are all the kind of areas where like the industry is happening. Yeah. But everything costs like $700,000.
Right.
And is small. There's like 2 bedrooms and like 1.5 bath and no garage. Well, you have a garage, but it's like shared with other people. And shitty, like dirty stucco and like $500 a month homeowners association. And I'm not sure what they're doing because the place hasn't been painted since like 87. So there's that. And all of my family and all my friends seem to think like that's where you should be. It's by the clubs. It's by the comedy clubs. It's where if you go to film commercials, you go to auditions, you're going to want to be close. I want to buy something a little further north in like the Van Nuys, Lake Balboa, Northridge area, which is, 20 to 30 minutes-ish away, like further.
Yeah.
But it's the same price, but these houses are brand new and gorgeous. And like, there's one for 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, like 1,900 square feet for the same price as like a crappy condo.
Yeah.
Right.
And now, they all think I should be there, and I don't think I should. So back me up.
You're gonna get. I can't speak for Johnny, but I think you're gonna get some backup here because you're talking to 2 people who moved about 3,000 miles away to buy houses. So yes. I think that I went to Portland, Johnny went to Madison, so we were definitely willing to go out a little bit.
Yeah, we went out Hollywood. A little further.
That's pretty out.
Yeah.
I mean, Portland is like at least somewhat close to your family, Andrew, which is like, ish. But yeah, we're about not close to like industry.
No, I know the way so it's interesting. It's like, so you'll be in, if you're in like Van Nuys or whatever, it isn't, once you're on the 101 and if you go at the right times of day, it really isn't that long of a
The place I'm looking at is Northridge. It's like the 405, really close, right? That's not far. Half an hour. It's not like every day. It's not a commute to a job, like a day job, that every day you're doing it. It's like
Right.
a couple times on a weekend.
Well, and here's what I'll say about the, Redondo Beach and all that. Like, as far as now, the Comedy Magic Club is great, but beyond that, the worst
Nothing.
comedy crowds in the United States of America are Orange County beach communities. Every bar show or stupid show I've done, like from Huntington Beach south, if it's on the coast, until you get to San Diego and the shows get good again. But all those are the worst. They're all the worst people. The worst. They're always too drunk. They're awful.
What
Awful
about
comedy
the
crowd.
Irish bar
All
in
white
Huntington
women.
Beach?
Yeah. Oh yeah. With now I can't remember his name.
I got some for you.
Jill, did you ever do those shows?
Which
Like
one?
Molly Bloom's?
Was it Gallagher? What was it called? Molly
what?
Bloom's, Gallagher's?
Molly Bloom's or Gallagher's?
No, for me, in living in Arizona, it would like never make financial sense to do.
Yeah, you wouldn't go that.
those
Yeah.
kind of shows,
No.
So I probably never did.
It didn't make financial sense to go from Los Angeles to do it. Honestly, it wasn't worth the gas. But
I mean, like if you're doing like ponchos on a Monday night, which was super fun, you don't even get paid, but it's like fun and it's like kind of liberal crowd that it's like a good. But yeah, if you're in like Huntington where people are like concerned about their money and like they're like,
no, they're the worst because they're concerned about their money. So you're like, oh, they have a stick up their ass? No, they're like too drunk. So they're just like, they're rich, entitled, and sloppy drunk. It's like, that's a bad combination.
Yes.
I like poor drunk people. They know that they're doing something inappropriate and they should be yelled at. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're aware that they might get kicked out at any moment and they agree to that social contract. Rich drunk people, it's like, how dare you suggest I've had too much to drink, Yeah. I'm rich.
And another thing. Yeah, it's
exactly.
There's a lot of how dare you.
Yes.
What do you think, Johnny? Do you think
I back you up
further
because
away?
I think further away is better if it's more affordable because you're further from the action. But where you are at night when you're watching, don't you want to be comfortable in your home? I would rather do a pain in the ass extra half-hour drive to get to wherever I got to go if when I'm home relaxing, I don't feel like I'm in a shoebox throwing tons of money,
Yeah.
Well,
You want to be
especially right
happy
now.
when you're relaxing.
Because, like, how much hanging out is going to be happening? Because it's like, what do you want to do? I could see if, like, your thing is, like, every night I want to be out at the Comedy Store till 2 a.m. or whatever. But, like, when is that part of it really going to come back? And how much, as working comics, that becomes less and less attractive, I think, the longer you're in comedy. And so I think when if you're 22 and you move to LA and you're just getting started, like, yeah, maybe you want to be in the middle of it all so you can hang out and you don't have, but I don't know.
Exactly.
Especially post-COVID. I don't know.
One of my friends was like, there's like these places where you can move that like everybody lives there and they're all like actors and everybody's like single. And
it's like, are
you talking about a couch?
It's a Melrose Place. I'm like, let me just tell you something. I am 50 years old. My children are 20 and 18. I have no interest in living in like a joint community where people will be knocking on my door to run lines. I want nothing. I want no part of that.
I like how like they're trying to sell it to you with the worst information.
The worst. I'm like,
oh no, you're gonna love this place. Everybody's an actor that lives there, and it leaks.
Yeah. And it's like cold, like you're cold, but then you're hot. You don't know.
These are not selling points.
No, and nobody. And when you want to move your car, it's a tandem parking spot. So you have to ask like the neighbor if they can move their car.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. I was like, you clearly don't know me at all. Like I am very much an introverted extrovert. I want to be by myself. I want to have my dog. I want to just be alone. And then if I want to come to where the action is, I will plan accordingly. I love that you guys are like,
I think you're onto something. Totally. I think you're onto something, but have you ever lived, it just made me occur because you were talking about this tandem parking. I mean, that's lucky to even get a parking spot. Like, I think for the first 8 years I lived in LA, I was constantly thinking about street sweeping. Like, I always knew, you always had to be thinking, what street am I on and what day is it? And I swear to God, it takes up like 5 to 10% of your brain at all times. and keeps you from being a fully functioning human being. And I just now occurred to me for the first time living here in Portland, like I've not thought about street sweeping in like 2 years. I mean, I think my brain has grown.
My parents are in Redondo Beach, and like there's always that, like they have a driveway and a garage, and like we'll park, but if there's more than like 3 people, my dad's always like, park on the hill, but you gotta like park the other way. It's always like a saga. And in Arizona, it's just not like that. There's very little paid parking, like meters. That's all kind of just like in downtown Phoenix. We just don't have that. I don't want to add problems to my life.
Right.
I want to like have less problems the older I get. Bad enough I don't have a yard for my dog. I have a very small yard. I'm gonna have to take him for walks, but like I'm willing to give that up but no thank you to the parking bullshit.
I don't blame you.
You're gonna move to either Portland or Madison, I think.
Yeah, I'd say even go farther. Go to like Montreal or Ottawa.
I would. Montreal. How great is Montreal?
I've never been to Montreal, actually. I was just trying to think of faraway places. Parking's probably pretty tough in Montreal, so I take that back.
You know, I don't know because I wasn't driving when I was there. I was there for Just for Laughs, which was like incredible. And we were only there for a couple of days, but that city is a great city. Like,
yeah.
Excellent. I love it. Toronto's more like small town. Like Montreal is a little more like New York, and Toronto's a little more like Chicago. Like it's a little like that, but great places. If Justin Trudeau would have me.
Yeah, they're not taking us right now.
I know. I'm like, I'm half vaccinated, Justin.
Oh yeah, you got your vaccine.
Half of it. I get my second one February 19th.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So
did you have side effects?
What? No, I didn't even have like a sore arm. So Johnny, if you don't know, like Dave Williamson, he's a great comic. He's a super fun guy.
Oh, yeah, I know him.
Yeah, he put on Twitter, he said, I wonder how many of my friends are going to use the age progression app to like qualify for the vaccine. So I said, I'm thinking about volunteering at a nursing home. And one of my followers wrote to me and was like, I'm a CEO of one of the healthcare, like one of the hospital healthcare places in Arizona. He's like, we need volunteers. If you volunteer, you'll get the vaccine.
Isn't that what you said last week, Andrew?
That's what. Well, no, but look. One, I saw you talk about it, Jill, but also my mom was on that. She was like, you can volunteer at these places and they'll vaccinate you to help. So I signed up for 2 different ones. I have not heard back. They didn't like my resume or something.
Keep
I don't know.
signing up. Keep trying and signing up.
Yeah, I want to get it so bad.
Because honestly, and then I started thinking the other day, you guys will understand this. Yesterday I was thinking, I need to start reaching out to comedy clubs because if I'm vaccinated, I feel comfortable traveling and going.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll look more favorably upon me once everyone is back in the mix.
No,
being like she was with us in like the trenches.
It's like you have a superpower.
Right.
Yeah.
Being vaccinated is going to be like the new MTV credit, You'll be like, they put the little graphics in the corner of your headshot, and it's like Comedy Central, and then they'll just be like a needle with the COVID-19 and a thumbs up.
That's actually a really good idea. The best thing is I reached out to this one club, and they were like, how about March 22nd through 28th with Brant? I was like, what could be better than that?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, there will definitely be when Brant is so funny because, like I said, you said he was on last week, but his shows, like he literally had someone come and like take her shirt off and go on stage and just show her tits to the whole crowd for like 5 minutes. And like COVID protocols, like what they don't even wear shirts or bras. Like I don't think they're social distancing.
I remember on that post, somebody was like, I think Brant was like, this is what she spent her, what is the money?
Oh, the stimulus money.
Stimulus package. I was like, those look like $600 boobs. Like they don't look very good. Mine don't look better, but mine are, natural. Just saying.
There you go. Well,
listen,
I like this. You're vaccinated. That's in the.
I'm
That's how you got to get brought up on stage. Like your next comedian, you've seen her at Just for Laughs. You've seen her on
On
Comedy Central.
She's vaccinated.
You've seen her, yeah. You've seen her at a mass vaccination site.
Yes.
Hey, my wife told me that I might. She's like, "Oh, hey, you might be able to get vaccinated because of your shitty heart." And I found out I have I have atrial fibrillation.
Oh
and
yeah.
I was diagnosed like less than a year ago. And so I was like, "Oh," she's like, "Yeah, you just need to get a doctor's note." And I was like, "Wait, isn't the doctor who gives me the shot? Can't they just give it to me, or how does that work?"
I don't think you need to get a doctor's note. If you go on to like your county, the website, and they'll ask you questions, and they'll ask like, do you have
a shitty heart?
Do you have a shitty heart? And then you're like, yeah, my heart sucks ass. And they're like, bring it on. And then they give you an appointment. You should try it.
Oh,
I would be like, you're going to go to the doctor and be like, okay, we got good news and bad news. Good news, here's your note to get vaccinated. Bad news, you have 1 week to live. So I don't know if I would spend your time getting vaccinated.
Knock yourself out.
But sure, go to the front of the line. Who cares?
Oh, that's funny.
All right. Well, thank you so
Thanks
much.
for backing me up, guys. I appreciate the Cavalry.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Anytime. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for being a guest on the Cavalry. Where can people follow you to follow your adventures to Los Angeles?
And Twitter. I have the same name on both. It's me, Jill Kimmel, and I mean Facebook, whatever. That's like just like keep in touch with the people that sell great leggings from high school. But yeah, Instagram and Twitter. It's me, Jill Kimmel. And I will be March 22nd week at the LA Comedy Club at the Strat with Brant Tobler, none other.
Wow, look out, COVID.
Nice.
Yeah, baby.
She'll be vaccinated.
Follow me and Godspeed. Get vaccinated if you can.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Even if you have to get a shitty heart, it's worth it.
Even if you have to eat unhealthy to make yourself obese enough to qualify for a comorbidity, it's worth it.
Qualifying for a vaccine. Just
Dr. Now. Get your note from Dr. Now, everybody, and get that vaccine. All right. That's it.
All right.
Thanks for listening, everybody,
yes,
too.
Leave a 5-star review.
Oh, yeah. Leave a 5-star review and a comment on what you need backup on in your life. And also, you can watch this podcast on YouTube. So if you would rather watch your podcasts, we're on YouTube at the Cavalry Pod, and subscribe. Anything else? That's it.
I think we got the important stuff out.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you, Jill. Bye.